I'll just check everything is working. Hi everyone, welcome to Call of Cthulhu. Yeah, okay, so so apparently I have had some messages left upon the now I have to click on each thing individually, don't I? So that's going to be annoying. Thanks for that. Right, so when we last left our intrepid Wystery Wachine adventurers, investigators, if you will, they had just triggered my trap card. One of them had decided, one of them being Carl Gibbons, he of the rags, had decided to walk in front of a window. And we all know what happens if you walk in front of a window. You get attacked by a werewolf. So, is that small children watching something in the background? Hello? Anyone there?
I'm here. It's not my background noise.
Oh, we've got the TV on in the background, but we normally do, so I don't know if it's...
Have you got your noise cancelling turned on?
Yeah, put your noise cancelling thing on. That might take care of it. Cause it's...
Yeah, I'm looking at a lovely picture of Dr. Gregory House. So I don't think it's that.
You're looking at a lovely picture of Dr. Gregory House.
Yeah.
What you do in the privacy of your own bedroom is up to you, Ben. That was a joke about my brother being
It's the cave. It sets me off.
into Hugh Laurie, which is very strange because Hugh Laurie is actually a very attractive man. So, not really a very good joke.
Yeah, I was gonna say like it doesn't work.
No, it doesn't really, does it? It's a terrible insult. It's just, my automatic response to pretty much anything Ben says is to just mock him in some stupid, obscure way. But that one really didn't land. So stop drawing things.
Because Dr. Cameron.
Oh, I was trying to draw Gandalf.
Oh right, okay. So yeah. Anyway, so this is what we call the pre-game messing around. I'm trying to delete all the things, but it's not really working. I'm just gonna I'm gonna allow the Gandalf. Oh.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'll stop now.
Is that Peendals?
I didn't.
I'm going to pretend that said money and not something that could be taken as an ableist slur. So, please don't get me kicked off of Twitch.
They didn't kick that girl off, did they? So you'll be alright. The famous one.
That does not look like Gandalf. That looks like a red...
I didn't draw the red thing. The pink ones are mine.
Right, okay. So, someone else is drawing terrible things. Oh dear God! What has happened here? What fresh hell is this? Let me just check everything is working on here. Just gonna unmute for a second.
Roll me a sanity check, please.
I think I need to roll a sanity check.
Yeah.
Are you making noises? I need to roll a sanity check.
Yeah.
Yes, you are. Are you making noise?
Who's graffitiing on top of my Gandalf?
It's Ben. Of course, it's Ben.
Look, I made him grumpy now.
Why does he have COVID-19 on his hat?
Why is his mouth like halfway down his beard?
Haters.
Is that whiskers?
I don't know. I didn't draw it.
I thought the whole thing was his head. That's why.
He does apparently have a really tiny face and a very giant hat here.
Well, yeah, he's got a lot of hair.
Okay, so we've wasted about 10 minutes just talking absolute nonsense. And
I don't want to get mauled by a werewolf.
This is because Ben is stalling because Carl has been jumped on by a very angry werewolf.
I was really tired when you were like, "Oh, so what? Who's going to shut the window?" And
no, you were like, "Oh yeah, we should close the curtains over," and I was like, "You have activated my trap card."
Nigel's got me. He's ex-forces. He's going to come to my rescue.
You keep saying that, but he actually isn't. So
No, he said it was. It's canon now.
Nigel served in the military. He wasn't. He was more of a border guard.
Okay.
Border guard.
Was he in the Air Force?
In
Right,
what?
so he was actually in
The
the
Air
military.
Force.
Chair Force.
Yeah.
Oh no, he was in Ireland.
Oh.
He was part of a brutal occupying army. Yes. I'm not going to make jokes about the IRA now. That's just a terrible, terrible idea. This is all going very south very rapidly.
You just said don't get me kicked off Twitch, and
Yeah, exactly. So let's just bring up like terrorism and various other things. That seems like a really good idea, doesn't it?
go back to Gandalf, IMO. Just
Yeah.
say it.
It'd be a bad idea to do this.
What are you drawing now?
It's meant to be a pram bomb. I can't spell bomb.
Look, if you have to explain it, I don't think you're gonna get.
You can't draw a pram either. Like, you're just terrible. Okay, so this isn't the let's draw rubbish things on the.
Hey, my drawing is good, thank you.
There's plenty of that on Twitch already.
Is it?
Ooh, pot shots.
How did you do that so fast?
Because there's a button that allows me to do it.
It just says clear drawings.
Yep.
Only
So-
the GM has allowed it.
So, when we last left, because I thought, hang on a second, there has to be a way of clearing everything off really quickly. And there was. So, when we last left you, you were in a position of very dire peril, Carl. You'd just been jumped on by a werewolf who had crashed through a window and caused you a little bit of damage, but not much. You were mostly shocked and slightly cut up by the broken glass.
Any damage?
Correct. You didn't.
Oh, I thought you took like one.
I thought you took one.
I think you said 1d3 take away 1, and I rolled a 1.
Oh.
Correct. He is correct.
Okay, so am I allowed to react?
Well, you're kind of pinned down by a werewolf that significantly outmasses you at the moment. You will be
Am
able to
I?
react in a second, and you're kind of shocked.
Oh, I was gonna say, am I in the other room for this?
I
Yes.
think so, yeah.
Okay,
But
would I?
you don't need to make a check or anything to hear the crash of something jumping through the
Yeah.
window. Nigel, I will allow you to react first.
He's like to react by yelling something along the lines of "Oh bugger," and then I'd like to point the shotgun at it and fire right into its back area, somewhere where I'm less likely. Carl.
Currently, it's on top of Carl, pinning him down with all four on all fours. So it's like it's jumped through the window on top of him. He's fallen over, and it's fallen over on top of him. So it's pinned him down.
Sure. Then I'll try and shoot it in the back of the head. Why not?
Anyway.
Okay,
Take
so
a chance.
where you're standing in relation to it, you're actually kind of like side on and in front of it a bit. So you could aim at it and shoot at it, and you'd be hitting it in the sort of head and upper torso area, shoulders, that sort of area. Does that make sense? So unless you want to like move closer and sort of to the side of the window and around and aim the gun at it, you would be firing at that part of it first. Does that make sense?
It does. I would like to move around it in such a manner that I'm not going to block the door from hopefully someone running in a moment with a giant metal disc.
You are not blocking the door at the moment. The door
Cool.
is on the wall to your right.
Okay.
So it's like the door is along the back wall.
Oh,
So it's along the back wall.
Yeah.
So it's in line with where the werewolf is now, and you are sort of off in front of it. So the door is up and to your right. Does that make sense? So where you're standing, you'd have to walk forwards to get to the door.
move towards werewolf just to get as sure of a shot as I can. Ideally, so the gun was touching it, but if that's not feasible or safe, then
Okay, so I mean, if you get that close, it is going to be able to try and bite the gun, essentially.
Oh, okay. Maybe I should back up a little then.
But you are using a shotgun full of buckshot, so
Yeah,
it's in a
yeah.
confined space.
Difficult.
It's going to be difficult
stay-
to miss.
Yeah. I'll back up a little.
All
I'll
right.
back up a little just so I'm not within immediate. I'm not within grabbing range unless it gets up and moves. So sort of outside of arm's length.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you're about 3 paces from the werewolf right now. So you'd have to step forward 3 steps to get within range of it anyway. So you're pretty much at the optimum point at which you could fire from now.
Cool,
anyway.
perfect.
So what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to roll an attack. So you're going to do shotgun skill, which I think is base 20%.
I think I've not opened my character sheet. Hold on. I think mine was 25.
25.
For shot. Yeah, rifle shotgun 25.
Okay, so yeah, you can take a shotgun shot at it. There is going to be a bonus to hit for this one, but I'm not going to tell you what that is. And there is also a chance that you could hit Carl, because you are shooting a shotgun in a confined space.
That's fine.
Okay, so yeah, your shot is excellent. It strikes the werewolf in the shoulders and the head, and actually knocks it off of Carl because of the force of the blast. I am not going to roll any dice because I don't want to give anything away. The werewolf sort of snarls and leaps back onto its feet. This time, just on 2 feet.
Would I have
Doesn't
had
look
enough
hurt.
time to react from the other room yet?
Yes, yeah. You would have heard the crash, and you and Carl can now react.
Okay, I would like to bust into the room first off. Is that going to count as my action, as it were?
Yeah, opening the door, getting to the door and opening it, and then getting into the room. You'll be able to get into the doorway in the time frame that we're talking about.
Okay, cool. Then I would like to do that then, please.
All right. And Carl, what would you like to do?
So I'm currently lying on the floor.
Yes, on your back.
So I've got the pistol, haven't I?
Yes.
And I've also got one of these sacrificial daggers as well.
Yes.
So where is the wolf in relation to me now? Is it between me and the broken window, or
No, because of the angle at which Nigel fired, it's been blown into the corner of the room. So if you think about the window being directly behind you, you've got that back wall, you've got the door that's just been opened by Bernard, and then the opposite corner of the room is where the werewolf has been blown to.
okay.
So it's not a big distance because it's a little box room essentially, but you're now directly between Bernard and the werewolf.
Would it take my action to stand up?
It would take your action to stand up, yeah.
Okay. Then I'm gonna can I like draw the pistol, but like ready my action so that if it comes at me, I can shoot then as a reaction. Is that something I can do?
It's like going onto Overwatch fire almost.
Almost, yeah. So that if it bursts at me, I can try and shoot it to kind of, throw it off.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
And maybe also just draw the knife as well, so that if it jumps on me, I can, one in one each hand.
Yeah, okay.
What is it they do? Like when they have the gun resting on the knife hand, like a little Nigel back in his SAS days.
Yeah, it's you're bracing the pistol with your forearm while holding the knife in a reverse grip. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that kind of thing. So that if he comes at me, I can shoot him, and if he jumps at me, I can let his weight impale me.
Impale him, you mean?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Sure.
Okay. That's all. That's all I'm gonna do then. 'Cause, he's just been shot. Shooting him again with a pistol might not do that much. So.
Okay. I will give you all a spot hidden roll.
Ooh. I think I've passed that one.
Come on, Google Chrome, don't be like this. Yeah, I've passed that, I think.
Nigel, did you pass as well?
Yeah, I think so. Or close enough.
Nigel?
I think that's one.
Alan.
Sorry, can you not hear me?
I can hear you now, yeah. And
Okay.
Did you pass your spot?
My spot hidden is 30, and I rolled 31, so you tell me.
Yeah, close enough.
Beautiful.
All of you immediately notice that the fact that the werewolf took a close-range shotgun blast right to the face doesn't seem to have done any damage to it whatsoever.
It's almost impervious to normal bullets and stuff.
Possibly.
Well, in which case I'm going to go, Bernard!
Okay, yeah, Bernard's already in the room. So the werewolf leaps towards you again, Carl. Can you please make a dex... Do you want to try and dodge this? Like, you could roll across the floor to try and dodge it.
Can I roll under the bed?
Just roll and roll and roll until you go under the bed. No, you'd have to either roll towards where the werewolf is coming at you or towards Bernard.
I guess, yeah, to be fair, rolling away from it, like, it's probably a higher chance of success than shooting it with the fat handgun, so I will try and roll towards Bernard, so that if he pursues me, it's going to...
I'm going to want to jump into the room, though, so you need to not block my my egress.
Bernard, you have had time to take in the scene, so you can see him rolling towards you, and you will be able to jump over him with a very easy dexterity check.
Okay, cool. I'll go for that then.
However, Carl, there are two things to note here. One, you need to make a dodge roll, first of all.
Yeah.
So please make a dodge roll. What's your dodge skill?
I didn't know dodge was a skill, so it's half my dex, 30.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just done it. I always start off with good rolls. Or just failed. That was up to you, boss man.
31, like, that's to the extent where it will be a failure to a certain extent, but it's not going to be a failure that's going to be particularly nasty, because that's so close to actually being a success. You managed to sort of roll frantically out of the way. Unfortunately, because you're running over broken glass, please roll a d3 and subtract 1 to see how much damage you take from the broken glass. 0 damage, so apparently you are impervious to broken glass. So twice that happened.
It must have gone into one of my rags.
Yeah. Or you've just got lucky and it's all flat or whatever, or there's bits of the frame or something crushing the bigger bits. So yeah, you roll across the glass, avoiding getting cut by it somehow, but you do drop your knife.
More effective weapon as well.
The werewolf lands on all fours and looks up and snarls at Nigel. Can you please all make a sanity check? I probably should have called for that when this all happened initially, but did not, because we were finishing the session, so we'll do it now. This seems like an appropriate time to do it. So Carl has failed, Nigel has failed. Bernard?
Oh, sorry, my browser's lagging out.
I think there's a pass, isn't it?
What am I rolling again, sorry?
Sanity check.
Oh, sanity check. That is exactly on my exact number of sanity.
So you're shaken but not stirred.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah. So Carl and Nigel, please lose D3 sanity as the full horror of the situation that you find yourselves in washes over you. Nigel?
It's the end/roll.
1D. Do a space when you get to the dice.
Yeah, there's a space between the roll and the dice bit. You can just use the little button on the side.
D3, so
Roll a D6 and halve it.
it's fine.
It's all good. Sorted. So yeah, Carl, you lose 2 sanity. Nigel, you lose 1. Neither of you could fail that enough to kind of go, all over the place, and you were going to lose a hell of a lot of sanity because you've already seen the werewolf, so you're kind of jaded to it, even though it wasn't, and it did, rip up people in front of you last time. So it's not like this is as horrific as that. Okay, so it snarls at Nigel and swipes at the gun. So I need to roll. Okay, can you make a dodge roll for me, please, Nigel? Ooh, very nice. You manage to whip the gun back so that it can't grab it, and the claw kind of swipes the air. You feel like almost an audible sharpness as it goes past, like shh, as it cuts through the air in front of your face.
Thank goodness.
We will go round. We'll go in the order that it is at the bottom of this screen here. So, Bernard, what are you doing now?
So I want to charge forward towards the werewolf and hit it with the big disc.
Okay,
Seems
so
like
you're going to need to make a dexterity check to jump over Carl.
yes.
So we'll start with that, because if that goes horribly wrong, what's your dexterity?
80.
He's like the most agile man. He's like Bernard the Cat Man.
Yeah. He's incredibly strong, incredibly dexterous, and very large and intelligent. I got really good rolls.
Yeah, you really did. Okay, so Bernard successfully leaps over Carl with his cat-like reflexes. You now need to make an attack roll for me. You are using your skill with a knife, which is probably basic.
Is it?
Because you're a basic bitch when it comes to that.
Yeah, I am a basic. He's got really good characteristics, but not many skills.
That's all right.
I know where a knife weapon is.
Yeah, it's not specifically. We decided it was going to be like fighting or something. There was a skill that we'd looked at that will work.
Bladed weapons. I'm pretty sure it's knives, right?
Yeah, I think it comes as sword, wasn't it?
Oh, sword. Yeah, which is base. I don't even have sword on my
sword is 20%.
On my sheet. Okay, cool. And I rolled a 17.
Sick. So yeah, you hit the werewolf. Can you please roll me 3d6?
Certainly can.
Ain't quite big.
Like that. Like that.
That is the disc slices through the air and buries itself deep in the meat of the werewolf's shoulder. As you pull it out, a bright spurt of red, dark red blood jets out, coating your face and the wall behind you. The werewolf looks at the wound in shock for a second, and then lets forth a sort of whimper of pain.
Can I go, bitch? As I do that.
You can if you like, although technically that would be incorrect, as this is a male werewolf. I
don't know if lady werewolves are bitches anyways.
Keeper, can you remind us what the name of the man in the letter and the woman in the letter was?
Ian Maguire, and the woman in the letter was Clarice Maguire.
Brilliant.
Okay.
So in case we want to come up with some witty puns and stuff.
So, Nigel, what are you going to do? Oh, sorry, I think we lost you again, Nigel.
Well, it's new wound.
Yeah, sorry, I can't hear you. You've gone weird again.
Is that any better?
Much better.
Yes.
Sorry, so repeat thyself, my friend.
I'm going to try to shoot this werewolf in its new wound.
Okay, so you can shoot shotgun at it if you want. One thing to note, though, is that Bernard is now standing quite close to it, so there will be a chance that if this goes wrong, it could hit Bernard. I will allow you to reconsider if you wish.
Yeah, that makes sense. I wouldn't want to shoot the person who's doing work. Can I pick up Carl? Get him to his feet.
You
I'm
can
gonna be
if
on
you
the other
like.
side of the room from you now.
Yeah, he's on the other side. Well, no, you're all on the same side of the room technically. So the broken window is here. If you're looking at Roll20, you'll see what I'm doing. So that's where the werewolf came in. The werewolf got blasted back into here. You see here? That is my really artistic drawing of a werewolf.
It's good.
So Carl is going to be red. So Carl, you are currently on the floor here. That's you.
Mhm.
See, that's your head. That's your crotch rags.
Ooh.
The werewolf is not quite in that position now, but Bernard is now here in front of the broken window. And we'll go with green for Nigel. So Nigel, you are currently standing here. And I'm going to very artistically draw your shotgun, which is here. You look like a mosquito. You look like a mosquito. That's the door to the room there. The bed is behind you, Nigel. So the bed is here. This room doesn't have a bathroom because it connects to the room next door, which does. Like that. So as you can see, that is the hotel room as it is. There was a desk and a chair here, but that has now been destroyed by the werewolf crashing into it. So there's just some wooden shit on the floor there. There is also a set of cupboards just by here. So you can hide in a cupboard if you're a complete idiot.
You can move towards the door and
Seems
then
like a bad
get a
idea.
clear shot.
So this room looks a lot bigger than it actually is because I've drawn you guys way too small for the dimensions of the room. But like that's like a double king size bed according to this. But that's just the rough positions of where you're at. Okay. This door, because you locked it when you came in, is locked, so you can't get out of that. This door you can get through, and in theory you could jump out of the window if you wanted to escape. It is still quite deep snow out of there, so you'd probably have a relatively safe landing. That's my really artistic map. Isn't that great? Ben was complaining about never having any maps.
I'm really happy right now. I've been asking for maps. To be fair as well, my mental vision of what you described wasn't that far from that. So
Yeah.
done a good job.
Good. Okay, so the werewolf had swiped at Nigel and then been kind of driven back and recoiled. So the werewolf, in actuality, is not where I put it here. So I'm just going to get rid of that, and I will put the werewolf in a very fetching colour. I'm going to go with bright pink. So the werewolf is, in fact, about here. No, that's not bright pink. Stop being useless. Stupid thing. The werewolf is, in fact, here. Rawr. I am a werewolf. That's its face, and these are its claws.
Well, then
I know, I'm an
Yeah,
artistic genius.
That looks really good. Coming out the back of his neck right there. Oh yeah, put one of those big beefy arms on him.
Was it crushing trees or something? It does look a bit Trogdor the Burninator, doesn't it? Why has he got one of your legs?
No, that's something else.
No, he's got one of your legs because I drew you in red. So apparently you don't have any legs. So yeah, apparently you ripped one of your legs off. Take 12 points of damage. No, I'm kidding.
Look, it's 2 legs. There's 2 legs there.
I really would. You're a child. You're an actual child. Okay, so now that we can all visualise the scene with my remarkable drawing, what are we doing? This also looks like the most effed up Mr. Man I've ever seen. Nigel.
It's Nigel.
Just take a couple of steps towards the door, so my gun is hitting not at Bernard or Carl, so it's more of a...
I will point out that, like I said, you're kind of drawn a lot smaller than you actually are. So you're actually really close. You're maybe like 2 or 3 feet from the werewolf.
Great.
So if you were to step forward, it would be able to grab you.
Yeah, no, I wasn't going to step forward. I was just going to step. If I'm pointing my gun out in front of me, just so
You can
no one
draw
else would be in the cone of
Gotcha.
shooting.
So what you actually want to do is kind of step towards Carl's head.
Exactly, yeah, kind of strafe
Awesome.
to
Yeah.
the right towards the door. Yeah.
I'll let you strafe a pace to the right and then take aim if you want.
Awesome, that's exactly what I'd like to do.
Okay.
Not just because he's terrified and sidling towards the door.
Okay, no worries. So, are you going to fire?
Yes.
All right. So, I will give that a reduced chance to hit Bernard with any sort of scatter or whatever. So please roll an attack roll with your shotgun skill. Again, there will be a bonus to this that I won't tell you what exactly the bonus is. Yeah, that was a definite miss. Obviously, the kind of shock to the system that you had from seeing this has kind of freaked you out a little bit. Unfortunately, that was also within the range that I had determined might scatter and hit Bernard. So, can you please give me a luck roll?
Yes.
Luck roll for Nigel. I was going to ask you for a dodge roll, so either way. Do you want that to be... we can say that's a luck roll if you prefer, or you can have a critical success on your dodge.
Do I get more dodging skills if I...
You do.
I would like to do that then, please.
Okay, so Bernard, you manage to kind of throw yourself backwards slightly, so the blast passes harmlessly. You actually feel the pellets in the air in front of you. It's kind of all Matrix-like.
Yeah, cool.
Window. He does go out windows.
You don't go out the window. That would have been if you'd failed the luck roll by a small amount. But to be fair, there's like several feet of snow outside, and it's only on the second floor, so you probably would have been fine.
Yeah, but we wouldn't. She's got a disc.
Yeah, that's true.
Oh, he's got
I
a
have-
disc. I do apologise.
Bernard doesn't
Okay,
care.
so pop a check on your dodge skill for me. You dodge, you kind of wicker yourself backwards. You like go whoosh, Matrix style, Keanu Reeves style, and the blast passes. It's not quite that impressive, but you do avoid the blast.
Yes.
Okay, so next would be Carl. What would you like to do, Carl?
I'm gonna pick up my knife and stand up.
Okay, you scrabble around and grab your knife, and you make to stand up. Can you please give me a dexterity check, because you are in the rubble of the window, and therefore... Yeah, you stand up. You are fine. Okay, so you're now standing up in front of the door.
Yeah.
The werewolf swipes at Bernard, so I'm going to roll a dice, and Bernard is going to roll a dice.
Ooh. Should I roll now?
Isn't it?
Yeah,
So-
roll now.
Okay.
Doesn't really matter because the werewolf obviously has been unhinged by the attack with the disc, and it swipes at you, and you feel the sort of furious distortion of the air as the blow passes by your face, but it doesn't hit you.
Thank God for that.
So what we really should be doing here is rolling for initiative, because that's a thing that happens. So what I'm going to ask you to do now is I want you all to give me a dexterity roll. In fact, let's just do it. Let's just do a dexterity roll. That's probably the best way to do it. So do me a dexterity roll, and the person who gets the person who passes by the most, or the person who gets the best dexterity roll. So that's the order we're going to go in. So it'll be Carl first, then Bernard, then Nigel.
Well, it's weird that it happened like that.
Yeah. So Carl, you are first, my friend.
So it's facing towards Bernard, I'm guessing.
It is. It's turned to
I-
face
I-
Bernard.
I kind of wanted to do like heroic and run and jump on its back and stab it, but I don't think that's going to happen with it facing basically me.
Nah.
I guess I'm going to aim the pistol at its like torso and just start shooting at it. Maybe
Okay.
I know it got hit in the shoulder, but I don't think I'm marksman enough to be like targeting the shoulder. So just,
It's a semi-automatic pistol, so it'll fire every time you pull the trigger, which means you have time to fire it once during this combat round.
I will fire. I'll fire it. At him. Can I? Am I allowed to aim for a body part, or
You can aim for a body part, but that'll make it more difficult.
I'll just aim at it and shoot it.
It's quite a big target, and it's quite a short range. Okay, so give me a. attack roll with whatever your pistol skill is, which I presume is just base. Oh, critical success. Like, really good critical success. So, put a check on your, I think it's pistol. It should be listed as pistol.
Or a handgun, yeah.
Yeah, or handgun. Yeah, handgun. So put a check on your handgun skill. You actually shoot it in the eye, and the bullet penetrates, and the eye, you see blood leaking from the eye as it howls in pain. Give me a D3, please.
Ooh.
Nice. So, yeah, that's actually done some damage to it, despite the fact that it's presumably resistant to normal weapons. Quite impressive shot as well. Like, if the other two were not currently fighting for their lives, they would probably give you a little round of applause.
Yeah, well, I'm happy with that.
All right.
I'm going to say to him, "Hello, Clarice."
It's kind of howling in pain and doesn't notice.
Oh, that's a shame.
Bernard, it is your turn.
I think I probably just want to take another swing at him, possibly.
Sure.
Seems like the best thing to do in this circumstance. So I want to roll for that, presumably, and I am assuming I missed based off of that.
Go for it.
Ew.
Yes, you did. You have missed, I'm afraid. So you swash, that's not a word. You swipe the disc, but it's quite an unwieldy weapon, and you miss. And that means it is now Nigel's turn. Oh, sorry, we've lost you again, Alan.
Sorry. Is that better?
Yes, much.
Cool. Okay. I don't know what to do. Have we tested? We did test this, didn't we? Whether the werewolf can understand us or not, and it was inconclusive.
It's clever enough to time an attack through the window. I reckon he can understand us in wolf form.
I think
I would have to assume that it can, but we tried that in the police station. I asked it, and it kind of looked at me like a confused animal and huffed or something.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Who knows?
Maybe it can understand, but it can't reply. Because it would presumably not have a human mouth anymore, right? It's not going to be able to talk out of it.
It does have the maw of a wolf at the moment, so
He's also magic. I don't like to count out things.
That is true.
It may have just been playing dumb.
Yeah.
That was my assumption, was that it just basically didn't care. It was just going to kill us because that's what I'd been told to do.
I don't know whether to try something really stupid or not. I mean, I guess, does stupid trump shooting it again?
We've got you covered, Nige, if it goes wrong.
Okay. I'm going to try and talk to the werewolf and just say, we've got your letter, your letters, and we've got your locket. I don't know. There's not anything in there, is there?
What are you going to say? There was a picture of him as a man.
Yeah. I just meant as far as a tactic goes, there's nothing in there. I can't say to it, say turn back into a person, or
maybe you should say we found Clarice in the darkness, killed her or whatever. 'Cause he works for the darkness, he might be pissed off, divide his loyalty.
I'm gonna say to it, we found your letters, we found your locket. Would you like to be with Clarice again?
It snarls out in a sort of horribly mangled fashion. Lies! And that's about all it has time for because we haven't rolled initiative for the next combat round. But so you've said that it has snarled out lies, so clearly it can understand you.
Cool. Do I still have? I've still got some kind of action or something, right?
No, that takes your action.
No. Oh, okay.
But we will do initiative for the next combat round.
Sure.
So everyone please roll a D100. Carl, did you roll?
Yeah, I rolled 60.
Okay, so it's going to go Nigel, then Bernard, then Carl, then the werewolf. So Nigel, what would you like to do now? You can keep trying to talk if you like.
I'm gonna carry on talking. I'm gonna pull out the locket and hold it up and say, "We would have no way of knowing about Clarice. We're not lying.
The werewolf kind of falls back into the corner and lets out an anguished howl of pain and loss.
Yeah. We can reunite. We can reunite you in death if you'll allow us. We can end this curse for you."
The werewolf has sort of fallen back into the corner and kind of raised its arms and sort of let out a howl of anguished pain and loss. It kind of is momentarily transfixed and then snarls out around its jagged teeth. "He lied to me. He said she was still alive and he would free her if I did his bidding." You can sort of hear the pain in its voice.
Oh, I feel bad now.
I want you to all roll sanity for this, by the way. So if you could all roll sanity.
Nope, I failed.
I think.
Oh, yeah, I failed.
Okay, all of you lose a sanity point because the werewolf undergoes a kind of reverse transformation. You see that its sort of bones like roiling beneath the surface of its skin as its snout withdraws to reveal a man. It is the man from the locket. He is bleeding profusely from the shoulder and tears stream down his face, tears of pain and loss. He's not bawling like a child or anything, it's like silent tears just rolling down his face. He says to you, "He has sent another to come and take you if I could not succeed. He will be here soon. You must prepare yourselves."
We want to know where she is.
Where is my wife?
We found her at the bottom of the old mine where we sought the sky disc. I think it was his domain.
He draws in a big sucking breath. And he says, "I will help you. My life has no meaning now, but perhaps I can get some measure of revenge by helping to defend you against this."
Take him by the hand and put his locket in his hand and kind of close his fist around.
He says, Take it. Take the damned thing. 'Tis proof that I have been serving a liar all this time. The man who killed my wife, the monster who killed my wife."
And can I administer some first aid to him? We beat him up.
He brushes your hand off. And then he says, "Don't look." You have the opportunity to turn away if you like.
I'm gonna look, but like.
Away. Out of respect.
Okay, yeah, no, he did ask me to. I'll be polite.
Carl, are you gonna look?
No.
Okay, so Carl turns away. All of you turn away, in fact. You hear a hideous cracking and roiling sound behind you, and then when you turn around again, he has reverted back to the werewolf form. There comes a loud banging at the door, and you hear a familiar voice call out, "Are you alright in there? We heard gunshots."
Just playing GTA too loud. Sorry.
It's you recognise the voice as that of Justin Miller, the editor of the paper.
Oh, Justin. This just in.
I'm going to reload my shotgun.
Okay.
Yeah, well, maybe it is Justin, because why would he be here?
And then conceal it. I'm gonna
Who's
reload it and then
spoke?
kind of hide it behind my back.
Who spoke?
Also, there's a werewolf in it, so I don't know
Yeah, like,
if he comes in. The jig's up. So
Maybe he's the second assassin.
he could be.
Maybe. Or maybe
he's got
it's going to jump in through the window.
Well, again, this is like the quadruple take.
So, what are you going to do anything, or are you just going to keep silent?
Did anybody respond?
Well, I was gonna yell back sorry, but I'll keep quiet because it's not a good situation. We could just say, no, I don't know what I would say in this situation.
you're watching a movie. Is that
A shotgun blast in a really confined space is incredibly loud.
Yeah, it's not gonna be able to be passed off as TV or anything like that. It's super loud.
Especially because anyone on that side of the building who had their window open or was near the window would hear it really loud. It's probably loud enough, in fact, that it would shake the floor.
We could all just leave. Go out the
scared
window.
me?
Could we get out of the window? We're like 2 floors up, right?
Yeah, he said it was
You're
quite
one floor
deep.
up. You're on
Oh,
the
we're
second
1 floor. Oh,
So yeah,
okay.
you could literally just jump out the window. I mean, there's a load of snow at the bottom there. It's probably pretty soft. It hasn't had time to like freeze solid or anything. So I doubt it would be. You're jumping into like 5 feet of snow.
Well, in that case, then should we maybe ask Mr. Werewolf what Mr. Delaney's up to and whether we can throw a spanner in the works?
I'm going to say to the werewolf, is this the second assassin?
He's coming.
The second.
Newspaper man. Is he the other one Delaney's sending?
Yes, it's him.
Okay,
And
out
is
the
he
window
like
we
you?
go.
Yes.
Is he a creature like you? Yes.
Yes. Delaney had me bite him.
Okay,
We
out
have
the
to slay
window.
him. No, we have to slay him. This is the best chance to now.
What, we have to? Why do we have to slay him?
Because otherwise he'll stop the ritual.
Will he?
Yeah.
That's what they said.
He'll kill
Okay.
all of us and then stop the ritual.
Okay, so
I'm going to shout out, I'm going to call out and say, just making myself decent.
let's buy some time.
Bernard, do you reckon it's possible for you to like
Well, what I was,
stand next to the door, hug the wall, and just swing the blade at him as he comes in?
yeah, that's what I was gonna suggest.
Yeah.
was
Can you,
that, like, if I
Can you all
stand
give
so
me
that
listen
my
points, please?
oh god, we're taking too long.
He's got his ear to the
Oh
door.
god, Carl just got a critical fail.
Jesus.
Bernard
Oh,
got
God.
critical
Oh.
success though.
Yes.
Okay, so Bernard, you can put a check against your listen skill. Carl, you hear noises from outside. Nigel, what's your listen
Yeah.
skill?
My score is 25. I rolled 38.
Okay, so you're fine because this was actually a half score listen skill. Carl, Ben, obviously you know that you critical failed, but Carl doesn't. So Carl, you are utterly convinced that something is about to spring through that window. Bernard and
Yeah.
Nigel,
Rugby tackle,
you
Bernard.
both hear the hideous cracking, broiling sounds from just outside the door.
Okay, so
But
can I?
you also hear Justin Miller's voice, kind of, you can tell it's him, kind of as an undercurrent of it, in pain, and gradually deepening and turning more bestial.
Oh,
Bestial?
don't I?
Bestial. I'm not entirely sure how you pronounce that word.
Do we want to fight this thing? Do we want to fight this thing in the hotel room or outside in the snow
Well,
where we
what
have
I
more
was-
space?
Thinking was if I could stand, like you said, with my back to the wall next to the door, right? So I got my like right arm onto the door frame. When he opens the door, I could just swing at him, assuming the door opens the other way.
The door opens,
It'd be like face height.
the door opens into the room. So
Okay, the door opens
the way
into
that
the room.
the way that it opens, if you were to stand next to the door,
I'm gonna get squished by the door.
the door would open and you would be behind the door.
which isn't great.
I'm going to have to hurry you here.
Guys, what do we do?
I'm gonna dive and
What the fuck,
push
yeah,
Bernard out of
outside.
the way because I think he's about to jump in the window on her.
Please no.
Let's go out the window.
Yeah, should we go out the window?
No, don't do that. He's out there.
Yes. I mean, he's at the door. You just heard him talking to us at the door a moment before.
Get him out the window.
Nothing's out the window. Should we go out the window? Let's go. Maybe we should go out the window.
Let's go out the window. Let's.
Okay. We're gonna
More
jump out
space
the
in a
window.
hotel room makes sense.
It's a mistake. I think it's better to fight him here.
You reckon?
Yeah, we can corner him.
He could corner us.
We've got a werewolf on our side now, and you've
He's
got
got-
a disc of power.
That is true. What if we get that werewolf to hold him still and just chop off his head?
Gonna be like, I'm gonna say, the door's open, come in.
Oh god. So we just letting it up. Things are being rolled. I don't like this.
Could we have jumped out the window?
Okay, there is a smashing sound as something launches itself bodily at the door and crashes through it. Unfortunately, because of where you're standing, Nigel, it's coming right at you. So please make a dodge roll. What's your dodge skill?
Let me find it. 27.
Oh dear. Unfortunately, basically what's happened to Carl at the beginning of this whole mess has just happened to you. So you've been bodily thrown to the ground by something that's landed on top of you. Please roll a d3 and subtract 1 to see how damaged you are by this.
Eesh.
So you can actually do roll 1d3 minus 1 for this. Okay, so you take 2 points of damage as bits of wood and so on and so forth, and the claws of the beast sort of pin you to the ground.
Groovy.
Carl and Bernard, you see the werewolf let out a howl and leap at the werewolf that has pinned down Nigel. They both go rolling off onto the bed, which collapses under the weight of the two of them, and are kind of tearing at each other. What would you like to do?
Do we have a way?
Actually, sorry, we're gonna have to do initiative rolls.
Initiative,
So-
yeah. Whoop. 69, dude.
All right. So order is going to go. The second werewolf, so the one that's just burst through the door. Then Carl, then Bernard, then the first werewolf, then Nigel. This isn't actually how you calculate initiative properly. There is actually a proper formula for it, but I can't be bothered to look it up right now because it's working just fine and no one's objecting to it. So, really, essentially what it is people who are more dexterous, I think, have a bonus to it, so it makes you more likely to act first. But I'm fine with this as it is right now. Okay, so the first werewolf is going to swipe at... the second werewolf, rather, is going to swipe at the first werewolf. Sorry, this is going to be playing against myself. Despite being wounded, the first werewolf manages to avoid the blow and kind of rocks back onto its hind legs and backs off a pace. It's basically now sort of level with you, Nigel. Nigel, you are on the floor, right next to a very angry werewolf that's just burst through the door. So I believe it is Carl next. What would you like to do?
Try and grab Nigel and pull him away.
Okay, so can you
Pull him
please
back
make
to-
opposed strength rolls? So what that's going to be is roll under your strength. Oh, bloody hell.
2 ones in a row.
2 ones in a row.
Ooh.
Spicy. So yeah, I guess you put a check against that and you can increase your strength stat after this. That's pretty ridiculous. So I don't actually think we need a roll from Nigel. No, actually we do, because if you get a critical fail then it'll still not work. Although it will partially work. Oh, you're fine. Okay, so you bodily pull Nigel towards you. Carl, put a check against strength. Epic weightlifting action here. And I guess that means it's now Bernard's turn.
So I guess I want to take a swing. It's the only thing I can do, right?
Yeah, I mean you can move to the attack if you want. So it's about 2 places, and then you just sort of chop at it with the disc.
I would like to do that, please. Do I need to make 2 rolls for that, or just the one for the attack?
Just the one for the attack. So you're...
Okay.
Oh, 9, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah!
I'm just going to roll to see if it dodges.
Don't dodge.
Oh!
How many ones tonight?
Yeah, so many ones. What's going on? So you miss, and because it's a critical success, but because you got such a good success on that one, because it's near enough a critical success, I'm just going to say that they cancel each other out.
They cancel each other out. Thank God it's
Rather than, for example, you swinging on the blade. If you'd missed and it got the critical success, then you probably would have sunk the disc into the wall or something, and then it would have been a bit of a disaster. But we're all right because you got a success, so it's all good. So that leaves just Nigel, who has just been pulled bodily. So I will let you do something very simple, but not elaborate.
I don't think a good wolf. I think it was before Nigel.
The good wolf has had to react to something that was being done, and therefore their move has been expelled, spent for this turn.
If I can do something simple, I would like to stand up.
Yeah, okay, you can scrabble back onto your feet if you like.
Cool. Is there a way for us to distinguish visually which werewolf is which?
Well, one of them is bleeding profusely from a shoulder wound, and has like grey hairs on its muzzle and things because it's older.
Blood-matted fur.
The other one is slightly smaller and darker brown, and they're both kind of wearing the tattered remnants of the clothes they were wearing before, so it's really easy to distinguish between them.
Sure.
You have like a flashbulb camera around his neck. Like a little notebook.
little hat with threads on a little piece of paper tucked into it.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm chasing the story, see?
Would it be okay for me to quickly run to the toilet and possibly take a smoke break?
Yeah, by all means.
Are we? Oh, excellent! Thank you.
So we will pause. We'll pause for 5. Pausing for 5.
What? When you were like, oh, I'm gonna talk to the werewolf. I was like, what on earth are you doing? It's such a bad idea. It actually worked.
Well, there was a reason that locket was in the bottom of that mine.
Makes sense, yeah. I was just going to keep shooting at it.
That was the thinking. Was like, it's not going to achieve anything. We're just going to stand. We're either going to die, or we're going to stand in a semicircle around this thing and just shoot dead. Just be a slaughter.
That's assuming that doing that was actually going to have any effect on it.
Yeah, I mean, I find it easier to function assuming that the plans I make up are going to work.
That's very Old Man Henderson of you. If you don't know what Old Man Henderson is, I highly recommend you search for Old Man Henderson and you read about Old Man Henderson, the character who won Call of Cthulhu. Where's me knuckling gnomes? You won't get this because you don't know what I'm talking about, but it is epic.
Go run and grab a beer whilst we do celebrate a birthday.
Yeah, by all means, go take a break. So yes, this is a thick and fast action with lots of wacky rolls going on. I'm quite enjoying it.
Yeah, Carl has turned into like Rambo or something.
Yeah, what's that all about? 2 1s in a row, and then I roll a 1 as well.
It's good fun.
Ridiculous
tense.
Stuff. Ridiculous stuff. It all could so easily have gone wrong as well. Could have been
literally, at this session, literally any dice roll in someone being maimed or dead.
Yeah.
So it's I'm a little tense.
We ain't quite there yet. There are things that will occur. Like, you have to see if the ritual is going to be successful first, and you don't even know what the ritual is yet.
Not a clue.
Mm.
I'm banking on, right, this is what I'm banking on happening is we're gonna kill Justin Werewolf fast and easily. We're gonna, I don't know, he'll fall to the floor, and then we'll put the disc on his throat and just step on it.
Yeah.
And then Old Man Werewolf is gonna say, "Oh, thank you for that. Now I'd like to die because I haven't been able to for years." And then he's gonna let us, and then we'll walk off into the sunset, and that'll be that.
With dramatic music going, and then you'll do the sort of jumping in the air, punching the air, high five thing like the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly like that. That's how I envision the next 45 minutes playing out.
Okay.
I mean, why do I say these things out loud? I feel as though that's just gonna backfire on me. That's the only thing that can happen. It'll either go beat by beat exactly as I've said it, or we'll all be dead by like 25 past.
It's entirely possible. We will see.
Exactly.
There is a very angry werewolf in the room with you.
Yeah. But there's also, I mean, there's two angry werewolves, and one of them is, at the very least for now, on our side, so that's something. We've got... The only thing that's changed from the start of the session is now there are two werewolves.
Mm.
But one of them's on our side. Before this happened, we still had an angry werewolf in our hotel room trying to kill us.
Okay.
Now we're in the exact same situation, but we've got a werewolf. So that's always a good place to be.
Yeah, so we're winning.
Yeah.
Plus, he's also suicidal now. He's got nothing to live for, which means
Yeah, he's got nothing to lose.
He will hopefully, like, be a meat shield for us.
A meat shield.
Delicious meat. Delicious meat shield.
Delicious meat shield.
I think
I've
my
not been
plan...
paying attention to them fighting, but are they able to damage each other? Have we noticed that at all?
No, because they haven't actually hit each other yet.
Right. It's just occurred to me that if gunfire doesn't hurt them, I guess it's a magic thing, but hopefully they can hurt each other.
I'm hoping that the bullet to the eye wasn't just a fluke, and that when the sky metal injures it, it might mean that it's more vulnerable to normal attacks. But if not, we can just keep shooting it to distract it whilst she punches it with the shield of power.
The shield of power. It's more like a sort of razor disc of power.
Razor disc of power, indeed.
Mm.
Surprised I'm not dead. I thought I was going to be rendered into pieces. We've been really lucky.
You've been really lucky.
You won. What are the odds of that?
You've turned into fucking, I don't know, Captain America or something.
I know, and I pulled you away from the werewolf as well.
Yeah.
I feel
Like, you've really risen to the challenge.
Yeah, this is
Cool
kind
under
of the
pressure.
polar opposite of what happened with the Rat Man, where he just like dropped Molotovs at his own feet.
True,
and fell
but then
over and stuff.
I did pull Nigel away from Ratman. Remember, I chopped
That
the
is
rat's
true.
hands.
That
That
is
seems to be my main skill, pulling Nigel away from things.
Yeah.
Pulling Nigel off of things.
Pulling Nigel off of things. The erotic adventures of the Wystery Wachine.
Oh dear.
Okay, so Bernard has returned.
Bernard has returned.
So it is this. Where are we at? Have we got someone else to take an action? Have we?
I think Nigel was last.
Yeah, I think Nigel hasn't taken an action yet. Bernard, did you do anything this time round? Yeah.
Yes, I did.
You took a swing and missed because of my controls.
Yes.
So, yes. Okay, so Nigel, what would you like to do? Sorry?
I stood up, that was my turn.
Oh, of course it was, yeah, correct. Okay, so initiative, please, folks. I'm doing the first werewolf first, and the second werewolf second. Okay. So we're just waiting on Bernard.
Sorry.
Alright, so turn order this time round. First werewolf, then Nigel, then second werewolf, then Bernard, then Carl. So the first werewolf lunges forward and takes a swing at the second werewolf. I'm going to start calling them by their first names. So Ian swings at Justin. And connects a glancing blow. His claws sort of swipe at the front of Justin's torso, gouging a bloody furrow through them. You see bright red droplets of blood spatter away, but not very much of it. So the second was the second werewolf, who swings back at the first werewolf. And definitely hits. And definitely hits. Yeah, and the blow connects with the side of Ian's muzzle, and gouges a furrow out of the cheek under the eye. Ian moans in pain, but still remains standing, though somewhat unsteady on his paws. I was going to say feet, but it's not feet, is it? It's paws, because it's a wolf.
I believe.
So, who is next? 'Tis Bernard, I think. No, sorry, it's Nigel.
A clear line of fire to Justin.
Yeah, I mean, from the angle that you're at, you can hit Justin a lot easier than you can hit Ian. So yeah, you could shoot at Justin with minimal risk of hitting Ian.
Do that then, please.
It's a bit weird calling wolves by like human first names. Oh dear, that was a terrible.
Yeah, that was really bad.
Can you please roll a luck roll for me, please?
Oop.
You're about to take out Ian.
No, you passed that rather handily. Your blast goes wide and basically just shoots into the wall. Pellets kind of bounce off and scatter around the room, but none of them do any damage or hit anyone. So you're quite lucky. The sound of this blast in this confined space is pretty deafening, and your ears are all going to be ringing for the next little while. But you otherwise suffer no ill effects. So, Bernard next.
I'd like to take another swing, please.
Okay, so give me an attack. I will make it up.
Sure thing. I think that's a miss.
No, it's not. Because of the range and the confined space, it's not that difficult to hit someone with a 2-foot disc of sharpened metal. Especially given that they're a werewolf that weighs at least 350 pounds. Probably more. So give me 2d6, please.
It's a 5.
The blade gouges into the side of Wolf Justin's torso. We'll call them Wolf Justin and Wolf Ian because that makes more sense. So Wolf Justin's torso, leaving a bloody furrow across his ribs, and the werewolf moans in pain and fixes you with beady, malign red eyes. Doesn't like you very much right now. Carl, you're up.
The point of clarification, didn't Bernard give us all some canisters of like silver nitrate or something when we were down
Yes.
in the
Correct.
Yeah, we
the
have
mines?
little spray bottles of it in our pockets still.
Correct.
Am I allowed to like try and throw or spray or whatever into his face?
What are these spray bottles made of? Plastic.
So it's not like a spray bottle. I'm trying. So have you
Like watering
you
your
see,
plants?
No. So not like a spray with
plant
like a
mister.
trigger thing. I'm trying to think of an example, but like what you would develop hair dye in. So like a bottle that you would
Okay.
squeeze,
So like a
and it
squeezy
has
bottle.
it's squeezy and it's got like a nozzle on the end of it almost,
Like, oh my goodness.
like a
Ketchup bottle.
almost like a ketchup bottle.
Okay.
Squirt in his face.
You can try, certainly.
I will try that. I'll try that.
Okay. You try. And why is my... Hang on 1 second. I'm just checking something. Yeah, okay, it's working. 1 second. That's fine. Cool. Checking. Sorry. Wasn't muted, so there was like a doubling effect on the sound for a second. Right, so that's all working fine. I just paused my stream because I'm an idiot. I hadn't paused it broadcasting, I just paused it on my screen where I was watching it. So that aside gone. You want to spray this bottle of liquid at the beast, is that correct? Yeah. I would say that's going to be some sort of roll.
I mean, I have been carefully working on my throw skill, which is now up to 26.
It's not going to be throw because you're squirting something. Flamethrower. It's flamethrower because you're squirting something at something. But again, because it's confined space, it's going to be more likely to succeed. So give me... base flamethrower is 10%. You spray a big sort of thing of silver nitrate and miss.
Oh, that's a shame.
It's a moving target. It's difficult.
Just in the pocket nitrate him.
Yeah, so initiative again, people.
Oh, it might be last again. Ooh! Spicy.
Bernard?
Sorry, 1 second.
Okay, so it's going to go, Nigel, because it's just an initiative check. You don't get a check for that one, unfortunately. How many ones have been rolled tonight, though? It's crazy.
Like at least 6.
Yeah. So we go Nigel first, then we go Bernard, then we go the second werewolf, then we go Carl, then we go the first werewolf. So werewolf Justin, and then last will be werewolf Ian. So Nigel, what would you like to do? Nigel?
God. Yeah, sorry, I'm thinking.
Okay.
I don't know how many options I have. Firing this shotgun, which hasn't been going so well for me.
Use your try and talk them down.
You reloaded the shotgun, so you fired 2 shells since then, so you have 3 left. I'm just going to point that out to you. I will not do that in future if you're using firearms, so if you are firing firearms in future, you will need to keep track of how many you've fired. Because if I tally up that you've shot enough shots that your gun is empty and you haven't realised, I will not tell you that, and I will just say there is a click of an empty chamber.
Oh.
That's bad.
Okay, so you want to fire the shotgun?
I guess I'm gonna follow Carl's lead. Some silver in its eyes, why not?
Okay, so flamethrower, 10% skill. Again, there's going to be a bonus because it's confined space. No, you also miss.
We're making a very expensive mess.
Perhaps the ringing in your ears is throwing off your balance.
Probably.
So I believe it is Bernard next.
And it's gonna take another swing.
Okay, go. You give that thing a swing.
And it's not gonna do
Bernard's
very
gonna
well.
fail miserably, but it's not quite a critical failure, and mine's not quite a critical success. So you are fine. That means it would now be the first werewolf, I think, isn't it? Yes, first werewolf. No, sorry, it is werewolf Ian. Is going to swing at Bernard, and critically fail. So
Hey.
overbalances and can do nothing else as a consequence. Do you want to roll a dodge roll? And if you get critical success, perhaps something more beneficial will happen.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So in attempting to dodge, this is crazy. In attempting to dodge the blow of the werewolf who overbalances, you actually fall into its legs and knock it over. You basically roll straight through its legs. Essentially, you swept the leg by accident.
Yes.
So the werewolf goes crashing to the floor in a heap. And that means that the first werewolf, I believe, is next. Am I correct? No, I'm not. So it's actually Carl. Carl, you're up next.
Ooh. So it's on the floor.
Yep.
I just want to see if it works. Can I try another nitrate attack?
You certainly can. So I'm going to give you a hefty bonus to this one because you are attacking a stationary target that's on the floor.
Yeah,
I mean, in fairness, given how close you are, you don't even really need to square. You could take the cap off, like just quickly unscrew it and then just dump it on it if you want.
Yeah, I'll try that.
Okay, so you're going to have to make an attack roll for this, but it's going to be on an unopposed attack roll, and we are going to do it as simply a dexterity check.
Okay. My dex is 60.
Your dex is 60. Okay, yeah, so you dump the silver nitrate on it. The werewolf makes an agonized sound and steam rises from its bubbling flesh. So give me a d6 roll.
I'm so happy about that. That worked.
Okay, so now it is the second werewolf who leaps at him and lands on his back. And given that he is landing on his back and the werewolf on the floor cannot defend himself, bites deeply into the back of his head and neck with his large werewolfy jaws and deals quite a lot of damage. Jesus. I also need to roll another dice, I'm afraid. Ooh, okay. So you can see the life rapidly draining from werewolf Ian from the wounds that it has already sustained, but he holds on with his teeth, even though you can kind of see that it's taking all of his remaining willpower to do so. Okay, so initiative rolls.
I might be able to get Justin to yield.
Initiative. I will take the initiative.
Okay, so it's going to go Bernard, then Carl, then Nigel, then Werewolf Justin, then Werewolf Ian. So Bernard.
I'm going to take another swing.
Okay, this is going to be a lot easier because it's actually pinned down on the floor.
Yes.
So give me a roll. Oh,
that's
yeah.
15.
Perfect. Okay, so what I'm going to ask you to do is give me a luck roll.
Oh, okay. Interesting. No, that's a fail.
You can push this if you want and make a reroll, but it's going to be a straight reroll and it'll cost you a luck point.
Oh, go on then, seeing as we're in the last. Yeah, that's a pass. My luck is
okay.
58.
You bring down the circle of sharpened sky metal in a sort of overhand chop at the head of the beast and cleanly sever it at the neck.
Yes!
The body goes into spasm below the weight of Ian, and blood jets from the neck, coating you and the room around you. It's hot and rich and iron filled. The tang of blood is in your nostrils. Rapidly, Justin expires, and the body goes through a gruesome transformation back into that of the man.
I think we should probably jump out the window now that we've killed the man.
You a murderer?
I guess I'm a murderer.
Ian looks at you with a kind of glazed look on his face, his wolfish face, and around his jaws he whispers the word Clarice, and then collapses onto the body of Justin, rapidly undergoing the same change.
I didn't hear what he said.
Clarice!
Okay.
Rapidly undergoing the same change and reverting to the shape of a man, finally at release in the sweet embrace of death. Okay, there is a completely destroyed room that you are in, full of like shotgun blasts and 2 dead people. The door has been destroyed, the window has been destroyed. Yeah, you may not want to hang around here, just as a suggestion.
I think we should get out the window, guys.
I think we start a fire.
What is it with you and fires?
It is the cleanser.
Wasn't in the room. I would kind of agree. I think maybe burning the building down is a pretty good way to.
There's other people in here. Like
the fire alarms will go off. They'll get taken out by the staff. There'll be a whole fire evacuation. We've already seen the fire exit.
That is true. Maybe we should just have a little fire then.
Fire to the bed and run for it.
Yeah, then out the window.
Presumably, you brought your fire tank, didn't you?
I did.
So your fire tank is actually in the next room, so you could just empty that all over the place and set fire to it.
Yeah, I'll go get that then.
Let's gather up all of our stuff to take with us before we do that.
Okay.
And I'm going to keep the tank itself and probably not empty all of it. There's probably like a good, 5 litres in there or something?
There's a fair amount, yeah.
Use 4.75 litres if I were you. Make sure you liberally douse the body.
You get Justin's head really good because.
Yeah, I'm gonna spray it around like I'm spraying weeds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then
they'll think this is us.
And then let's go out the window. Set the fire and go.
Okay, so I will allow you to make sure that you have enough room to get out the window, and so on and so forth, having lit the fire without it just going up like a conflagration and burning you all to death while you're inside, because fair enough. But I will ask you to all to make a dexterity check when you leap out the window.
Okay.
Come on, Carl. Oh, he's done it.
Yeah, you all successfully leap out the window and land in the soft snow, taking no damage as a result. And behind you, you can hear the crackle and whoosh of the flames as they consume the room. You may not want to hang around here, though.
Yes.
Yeah, where do we want to go? Back to the people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that then.
Okay, so you're going to head... you're currently on the north side of the hotel. So north of you is the forest and stuff where the cabins and things are. And then to your immediate west is the town. And beyond that is the place where the people live. If you're to cross around to the north, you're going to be going past the road that goes up to the mining facility. If you were to go around to the south, then you'll be passing across the main road, which is where your van is located at.
I'd say go south, because the mining people don't like us.
Yeah, we want to avoid the mining complex with Delaney and this ritual situation going on.
Sure. The only problem with that is that the entrance to the hotel and therefore the fire assembly point is to the south as well.
Right.
Because that's where like the car park and everything out front of the hotel is, and the front entrances and so on and so forth. You can hear the fire alarms go off.
Let's go north then. We don't want to be seen.
It's kind of some trees, aren't we? So let's just go into the woods and
loop round.
Make our way south that way.
Or west. I think
Or
it's
west,
just to the west.
Yeah, you'd have to kind of go north and west to get around.
Okay, well, let's do that
Sure,
then.
yeah.
I want to go see everybody see us.
Okay. Seems fair to me. I'm just going to clear the drawings off. So I will give you a quick sketch so you can see what I mean. Freehand. So currently you are here. This is the hotel. The hotel has a road that comes out of it that joins onto the main road, which is here. This is very crude. Your van
Rude.
is this direction. You can all see that all right? So the road continues up here. This road is way too big. It shouldn't be this big. So this is the town here. Town. I'm not doing a street plan. You can bugger off if you're expecting that. Hotel's probably too big on this map, but it's fine. It's a rough sketch. So then you've got the road that goes out to the mining facility here. To mine. Ben being very helpful there. The shack is somewhere in this area, but you're not entirely sure exactly where. So we're going to go... Oh, it's on deleting the things. So Ben, I presume, is going to put the word shack in there in red to make it more clear. And the people, there is a road that goes off here, and the people are off... Stop deleting my things.
Not me. Maybe we can't do the two things at once.
It's possible, yeah. So, people. There you go. That's my really brilliant map that you can see really clearly because of, having the background in the way and everything. So,
Yeah, I think we just, my thinking is we want to avoid the fire assembly point and try and get some distance from the hotel without being seen.
I'll do some little green stuff to indicate trees for you as well. So, trees, 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 trees. That's the noise of trees. Trees, trees,
Trees.
trees, 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 trees. Okay, so that's enough me saying trees. More trees here. Yeah, so basically whatever you want. That's a really great map, that. Ben, you're getting spoiled here. That's 2 maps.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you.
What are we gonna do then, guys?
If we just go directly west then and cross the main road towards the main road and then this way.
Maybe with the main road we can possibly anticipate some kind of fire response.
I'm not so sure about that, but I am concerned that Delaney might send its goon squad after us again.
Yeah.
Because he's going to throw everything at us tonight if the ritual is, if whatever they're trying to stop is imminent.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
So, we've got a couple of choices, haven't we? We could either go for the town, we could even try and steal a vehicle at this late stage of the game. Or we just make a beeline through the woods, or we go through the town and follow the roads.
Should we go through the town and follow the roads? Might be best to hide in plain sight kind of thing.
Are we covered in blood?
Yes.
I think I am very covered in blood.
You are liberally coated in werewolf blood.
I think I had to spit some of it out.
Fire on you as well.
Oh, before I forget as well, for landing the killing blow on the werewolf Bernard, please regain D6 sanity.
Oh, hell yeah!
Awesome.
But, makes... you saying again?
And Carl and Nigel.
Eh!
Ooh, nice. Carl and Nigel for participating in the murder of a werewolf reporter. You can regain D3 minus 1 sanity. Oh, sad times. No sanity gains for Carl.
My D3 minus 1 always seems to be 0.
Oh, and no sanity gains for Nigel. You're both still pretty unsettled by watching Bernard chop the head off of something.
And it's pumped though.
Bernard is pumped. Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna have a watch.
So are we just going to go straight there, or what do we decide on? Streets?
Continue in the streets. I feel like, you know,
Yeah. We're too messy, aren't we? We're too...
that's it. Deadeye Carl Gibbons will just pot shot anyone that gets in that way.
There are
Anyone.
also trees here, by the way. So you can actually move through here relatively unseen because of the tree cover.
Well, we'll start heading towards town, I guess. We can always go off the roads if we feel like we need to.
Yeah, I think we should try and stick to the edge of town, the outskirts and stuff.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, you make it to the outskirts of town pretty handily through the trees. It's not difficult to see because of the sort of haze of electric lights over the town from the street lights, etc. And you are sort of on the edge. You are at the edge of the tree cover. There is about 200 yards between the edge of the trees and the town itself. The main road is maybe 300 or 400 yards away from where you're at the moment in the tree cover. Or you could head into the town itself.
Maybe, do we think it's worth just hanging out and watching the road for a minute or two?
Yeah, we could do.
Good idea.
Or do we want to just leg it across and...
Maybe we should just leg it.
Well, the thing is, the imminent threat of the werewolves is gone. So maybe
Yes.
being a bit more careful, because I wouldn't be surprised if there's some men in a van. Or,
Men in a van.
yeah, or man in a van.
Men
They're gonna
in
be-
a van.
Heading over to the hotel though, presumably. I would have thought we'd be quite clear because they're not going to know the werewolf's dead, are they?
Maybe they've just been told to just
No.
check in case we fleed. Set up a perimeter.
So what are you going to do, sorry?
Can we just, maybe just wait for a few minutes and see what we can see, furtively scope out the main road and the edge of town.
Okay, yeah, you wait for a moment. Do you want to give me listen checks?
Come on, Moss.
Alright, all of you hear engines coming from town, and 3 black SUVs pull out on the main road and then stop between, basically on the main road, level with you. From the 3, did I say 3?
Yes.
Sorry, it's only 2. There are 2 SUVs. The SUVs stop, and out from the SUVs come 5 men clad in black. And after a couple of seconds, a 6th man. Even at this distance, you recognise the cadaverous, wizened figure of Maximilian Delaney. He looks directly at you and points. And he says,
Oh, fuck.
and his voice carries clearly over the distance, even though it's 300 or 400 yards, sounding in your mind clear as a bell. You have slain my servants, delayed my plans, and caused me great distress. For that you must be destroyed. As one, the 5 men with him, one of whom, even at this distance you see, has a broken face, has been sort of sutured up and bandaged, etc., pull guns from inside their jackets and take
I'm relieved he's okay.
and take a couple of steps towards you. What would you like to do?
What would we like to do?
This is all round quite a bad situation, isn't it?
Maybe we should go back to the hotel. We should have checked Justin's pockets, because I bet he drove up here. Took his car. Didn't think.
Well, the hotel's on fire now, so...
There are
Suddenly,
options.
Do you have any fuel left? Can we douse these people in flames?
I've got fuel
not
left.
from 400 yards away, no.
In the snowy woods, aren't we?
I mean, even a military-grade flamethrower is going to struggle to get that sort of distance, I think.
Could go lead at the shack, to the werewolf shack, and try and ambush them there. But I just feel like 5 men against us is probably a
5
lot.
men with guns is too much for us to deal with.
Right, I'm
Plus
going to have to
Delaney
hurry
and
you.
what he
his
can
wizard
do.
I'm going to have
powers.
to hurry you. What are you doing immediately now?
I feel like turning around and running would be the instinctive thing to
Let's
do.
run. Let's run.
Yeah,
man.
run away.
Okay, suddenly you feel a really strange sensation, almost like a static charge across the entirety of your body. There is a strange visual distortion, as though someone has just dropped a dome of smoked glass around you, and it basically extends to encompass you and the men, including Maximilian Delaney, on the road. Maximilian Delaney looks round in surprise, and you hear the sound of drums. And from the trees on the opposite side of the road come 5 old men dressed in white linen clothing, with their faces painted white and smeared with ashes in arcane patterns. 3 of them hold drums. They're like almost like, marching band drums. They're like sideways on. They're like with straps around them, and you recognise that what they're wearing almost looks like a sort of proto version of almost Morris dancing costume. They
cool.
have ribbons tied around their wrists and ankles, and and on the ribbons on their ankles are small bells that ring. You can hear all of this sound, even though it's a little distance away, with pristine clarity, because of this, almost like someone's put a dome around you to keep you all in there. They are hitting the drums, alternating with either hand and chanting in a language that you don't recognise.
Aren't they?
Maximilian's hand that was raised to point at you sort of pulls back in a warding gesture, and he shifts round to face the people as they come out, led by John of the Hill. And for a second, the faltering and the drumming and the singing falters, or the chanting falters. But quite quickly, it is redoubled, and Maximilian Delaney recoils from it. You can feel the kind of energy in the air, and it's quite clear that there is some sort of magical duel going on.
What are the 5 goons doing?
The five goons are kind of stuck, not really knowing what's going on. Can you all give me spot hidden rolls? Ooh, very nice.
I think that's a pass. No, it is not.
What's your spot hidden, Bernard?
29.
Yeah, that's a pass for this.
Cool.
All 3 of you very rapidly realise that the goons aren't sort of transfixed by the sort of strangeness of the scene. They are literally frozen, like not moving at all.
They've been taken out of the game.
Can we?
Apparently so.
Are we
Can we sneak over to them?
Disarm them.
Yeah, just disarm them.
Yeah, can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, you could do if you want to. I mean, they are in between you and Delaney at the moment, but they are apparently transfixed.
Yeah. So can we just go up and casually attempt to take the guns off them?
Yeah, there is no resistance whatsoever, other than that they are sort of stiff, as though locked in place, frozen in time, as it were. But you can quite easily remove the guns from their hands. Okay.
Or hindered to kill Delaney now. Can we just shoot him?
I mean, he's in some kind
Alright,
of psychic duel
so-
with them, isn't he?
So you hear a kind of strangled sound from beyond the enforcers, and one of the people sinks to his knees with blood streaming from his eyes, ears, nose, and mouth, and collapses face first into the snow.
Oh, that's messed up.
Well. Maybe we should try and help, like, hurt Delaney to distract him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Should we just shoot him a bunch?
Armel might be a good shout if it beat up his creatures.
I mean, hey, you take it. You do some sky metaling. I've done all the sky metaling so far. I'm not going near that wizard man.
I'm gonna charge up to him and say, "This ends now!" and hit him in the back of the head with it.
Okay, go for it.
How far away am I, Keeper? Can I do that?
You are now close enough that you can do that. You will have to make a dexterity stealth roll, but it's going to be a relatively easy one because he's obviously distracted.
My stealth is non-existent. 20.
Okay, so yeah, unfortunately he does hear you coming and he throws up another hand facing you, and you feel a mental assault upon you. So please make a sanity check. Pass it. Nice. Okay, so you feel like it's almost like someone's stabbing needles into your head, but you kind of fight through the feeling and take a swing at him with the star metal disc. So sword skill is base 20.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, you're not going to get the element of surprise here, so you will have the opportunity to dodge this.
To be fair, Carl Gibbons is like a neckbeard, so I feel like I should get katana. Bonus.
And base is 20, isn't it? So yeah, unfortunately you don't hit. But you have kind of thrown him off a little bit. So we're going to start doing initiative checks here. So we're actually going to do this. Who's got the most dexterity?
I think it's me.
Yeah.
I've got 80.
Okay, and what's your dexterity, Carl? Carl?
60, sorry. 60.
Okay, and Nigel?
Andrew, you've gone.
53.
Sorry, can you repeat that? That was a bit quiet.
53.
Okay, cool. So we will do it like this then. So Bernard, with your 80 dexterity, you get to roll a D100 minus 8.
Okay. So 31.
Yeah. Carl, you get to roll a D100... what did you say yours was? 60 minus 6. And
Is that right?
no, D1.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think I did it.
Oh, yeah. You just got a really good roll. Yeah. Unfortunately, it's not a natural critical success, so it doesn't count as a critical success.
Critical success.
And Nigel, yours was 53, so we are going to round down there, so you get to do a D100 minus 5. Very nice. Okay, so it's going to go like this, unfortunately, because that's a ridiculous score for me there. But then that is what's going to happen. So
You did roll a d20.
Oh yeah, I did, didn't I?
Yeah,
Sorry.
you rolled it.
My bad. I'll roll it again.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You
So
did call me Laura. Yeah, what's up?
Have to be outside by 8 o'clock in the morning.
Okay, I'll sort you. Yeah, we'll do.
All good?
Sorry about that.
That's all right.
I'm back.
Okay, so it's going to go Carl, then Nigel, then Bernard, then Delaney. Oh, actually, I need to roll for the people as well. Apologies.
The men are like his sprawls or something, like extensions of his will.
Or they could just
Still
be,
looks to be that way.
quite possibly, they all look like distinct human beings.
Yeah, I got the impression they were like mind-controlled people or something.
And that's maybe why they're frozen.
So
Yeah.
this is the order then. So it goes Carl, then the people, then Nigel, then Bernard, then Delaney. So Carl, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna try and whack him in like the ankles, like try and like sweep him with it.
Okay, so give me an attack roll. Oh, terrible. You completely miss. So, Bernard, you're up.
I guess I'll use my auxiliary weapon and take a swing at him with the fire axe.
Actually, I think it was Nigel first, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, no, sorry, it was Nigel, yeah.
Yeah, Nigel,
Yeah, you
you're
could-
up.
I was gonna say, arguably, Bernard, you'd have one of their guns as well if you wanted to use it.
That is true, yeah.
I don't know if this is effective on all evil magical things, but I'm going to try and stab him with the dagger that I got in the last adventure.
Okay, so give me a sword roll. That's 20% base. Yeah, you managed to stab him. You deal a grand total of 1 damage to him. The dagger sticks in him, but doesn't seem to cause any real effect to him. Like, he just shrugs it off, essentially. You withdraw it, and weirdly and disturbingly, no blood comes from it. Instead, a beam of darkness kind of shines, or anti-shines even, from the wound, as though the darkness at the middle of the at the bottom of the mine is kind of leaking out of him.
Interesting.
It is quite disturbing, but not so disturbing that you need to make a sanity check. So, Bernard, you're up.
Okay, so I will take a swing at him with my fire axe.
Okay, are you aiming for a specific point on his body, or are you just chopping at him?
I'm just chopping.
Okay, so I think there's an axe skill. Yes, axe is 15% base, so let's do an axe roll, please.
And that's bad.
Yeah, you kind of overbalance yourself in the snow, and the axe goes whooshing past him without connecting.
Was it at least distracting?
He doesn't seem particularly distracted, no.
Boo.
I should have actually resolved the people, so we are going to do that now. Okay, the people kind of continue their chanting and so on and so forth, and you can still feel the air crackling with the battle of wills that is going on in front of you. So I believe it is now Delaney.
Naughty, naughty man.
And there is another strangled cry from in front of you as a second member of the people starts to ooze blood from every orifice and pitches backwards into the snow. It's one of the drummers. The others falter for a second once more and then redouble their efforts. So let's go with initiative again, please. So as before, you get that modifier that you had.
10% of your score.
Yeah. So Nigel, you actually got 52 there.
Oh, do I need to go as well?
Yeah.
60. Was that supposed to be minus dexterity again?
Yeah,
So it's
so
gonna be 52.
So
Yeah, 52.
52 for Nigel, 52 for Bernard, and Carl gets 64, Delaney gets 24, and the people get 88. So we're going Delaney first, then we're going Nigel and Bernard. Doesn't really matter which one of you goes first. You can fight it out between the two of you, decide who wants to go first. Then Carl, then the people. Okay? Good? Sorted?
Yeah.
Alright, so Delaney goes first. Okay, and one of the members of the people, the three remaining members of the people, staggers to his knees, but continues to chant even as blood starts to ooze from his nose.
Yeah.
So, Nigel and Bernard, you're next.
Okay, I guess I'll take another swing.
Go for it.
Oh, whoops. Oh no!
Critical fail. So, give me a luck roll.
That's a pass.
Pass the luck roll. So you swing at him, trip over your own feet, and the axe goes sailing out of your hands to land in the snow about 6 feet away. Just be thankful you passed that luck roll.
Don't run with scissors, kids.
Boy, that's where they get like chopped in the leg.
So, Nigel, it is your turn.
I'm gonna pull out the shotgun. I'm gonna put it right against his chest. Fire that sucker.
You are standing at his back, so more like it would be
Okay, into his back. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going
Right between the shoulder blades.
shoot him point blank right between the shoulder blades.
Hell yeah.
Okay, so roll for damage for me. So because this is... he can actually dodge this, actually. So what we're going to do is, rather than you make an attack with the shotgun, you're going to make a dexterity attack. So it's just going to be a straight dexterity roll for you. Yeah, unfortunately, he sees what you're trying to do and kind of snakes his way out of the way at the last second. As you pull the trigger, the blast just goes sort of harmlessly past him. He's very quick for an old man. Okay, so I believe that would make it Carl's turn.
I'm just giving him with the star metal, but I keep missing, but like I feel like it's the best way that I'm going to incapacitate him, so...
Okay, so star metal whack. Go for it.
Yay!
Oh, you got him. Right.
Finally.
So,
I want to, you know how in like Matilda where Trunchbull smashes that plate over the boy's head? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get the metal and just want... Danger!
okay, so give me a d6.
Yes.
Okay, so you cleave a large chunk of flesh from Delaney's side. More black light shines, or anti-shines, I don't even know what you'd call it, emits from him in like rays of darkness. His head slides around on his neck till it's at an impossible angle, and he looks at you with like a sort of look of anger and annoyance. You hear a voice resonate in your mind that says, "I shall kill you last."
That. You.
Okay, so it's now time for the people to do their thing. Okay, awesome. So, yeah, so initiative again. combat rounds of craziness. So we'll do the people first. Nigel, and you forgot to do your modifier on that again. But yeah, so -5 on that, so you're on 6.
Miles off.
And Bernard?
Oh, sorry. Here we go.
-6 on that one. Please add your modifiers, it just makes life easier.
Oh yeah, sorry.
So
Cut that out.
that will be 78. So that means that Carl and Bernard will go simultaneously. Nigel will go first, then Delaney, then the people will go last after Carl.
Just before me, it would have been 76.
Hmm?
Bernard will be just before me, 76. It's got a higher modifier.
Yeah. Correct, sorry.
I just pressed the button to roll a D100, but I didn't mean to, so...
It's alright, don't worry. So yeah, Nigel, what would you like to do?
I don't have a lot in the way of things that seem to do anything to the guy. I guess what I can do is try the shotgun again.
Okay.
I think the disc is the only thing that we have.
So do the old dexterity check again.
Uh-huh. So that's a fail. Dexterity is 53, so I believe that.
Yeah, I'm afraid it's a fail again.
Yeah.
Again, he kind of shifts like smoke around the weapon so that the blast just sails harmlessly off into the sky. So now it's Delaney's turn. Delaney is going to... can you roll a sanity check for me, please? Carl.
He said he was going to kill me last.
That doesn't mean he's not going to hurt you first.
I fail that.
Okay, so please take d6 points of damage as your mind is blasted by daggers of concentrated pain.
Oh.
Oh, that's brutal.
It's a big oof.
What's your hit points?
11. So
11.
I'm down to...
Okay, so you've actually taken massive damage there. So what will now happen is you need to roll to see if you go into shock. So this is a constitution check, I believe.
Okay, so my constitution is 60, it's quite high.
Okay, so
He's a big lad.
Oh, savage.
Can I nudge it?
Huh?
Can I luck it?
I will let you luck it, yeah.
So is that a reroll or?
Yeah, it's a straight reroll for a luck point. Oh,
okay.
rough.
No.
Okay. So, while nothing physical seems to happen, you see Kyle convulse and get thrown backwards into the snow as blood pours from his nose and from his eye sockets. The disc is still in his hands, but is not going to be much use right now, given that it is being clutched by a man who has just been knocked over. Carl, you're going to have
That's
to
the noise
test.
they're making.
We didn't actually hear a noise there because I think
It must have been cut out.
yeah.
No, that's a
It's
shame.
too strange. So, Carl, you're going to have to test to get back up after this, I'm afraid. It's going to be a constitution check to kind of shrug off the effects. Where are we at? I believe we're at Nigel and Bernard? Or are we just at Bernard?
Nigel, then Bernard, then me, then the people, I think.
Yeah, okay, so Nigel, what would you like to... Oh no, Nigel did the shotgun attempt, didn't he? Was that previous?
Is that this round? I don't remember. It was this round because I was.
Yeah, it was this round. Yeah. So it's
yeah.
actually Bernard's turn. Bernard, what would you like to do?
Can I take the disc off of Carl and take a swing in the same turn?
Yes, you can, because you can kind of turn the movement of one into the second. It's going to make it slightly harder to hit, but I'm not going to tell you exactly how much harder it will be to hit. What I will say, though, is that if you want to try it, Carl's mind has just been blasted, and he's pretty much insensate, so he's not going to try and resist you taking the disc off of him.
No, I didn't think you would anyway. Okay, what am I doing that based off of dexterity?
It's going to be an attack roll.
Okay, cool. I'm
just-
rolling it. And it's
critical
bad.
fail. Critical fail. I will allow you a luck roll
Right.
here. So if you want to make
I'm lucky.
Okay, so the critical fail, because of the motion that you're doing, you actually sort of lob the disc at the Maximilian. So you can now make an attack with a thrown weapon.
Ooh.
And you hit! So the disc
Yeah.
sails through the air and hits Maximilian Delaney in the back. So please, I'm just going to make... or it sails towards his back because I need to make a dodge roll, which I fail. So, please make a damage roll of 1d6.
I don't know why I bothered typing that out when I could... It's a 2.
Alright, so the blade slices through the air and basically severs Maximilian Delaney's upper torso from his lower torso. So it kind of bisects him from under the armpit and up through his shoulder. So it cuts his body off so that his left arm is still attached to the top half and his right arm is on the bottom half, if that makes sense.
Gross.
So darkness shines out from them, and you see the head of Maximilian Delaney kind of whip round to stare directly at you as the entire body undergoes a change. Blackness kind of links the two halves of the body as they pull apart, and then consumes the entirety until all that remains of Maximilian Delaney is a massive writhing mass of darkness. So, as a consequence of that, you all need to make a sanity check.
Since I'm in Sense 8, I shouldn't have to do that.
Correct, you're kind of out of it.
I'm very sane.
So, Nigel, did you fail?
Yeah.
Okay, so lose D3 sanity, please.
Jeez.
Success?
Yeah, so you lose 1.
Yep.
Okay, Delaney's form coalesces into this writhing pool of darkness that kind of assails your mind. And Nigel, I'm afraid you are going to suffer temporary insanity as a consequence of this. So you are convinced that the darkness is looking right at you, like right through you and into your soul, and you are overcome with an overwhelming sense of terror, which means that any checks you do from this point on until I say are going to be at -5. So that's a modifier you're going to have to apply to your rolls. However, the darkness roils and boils and seethes for a few moments as the chanting increases. And then the chanting reaches a crescendo from the 3 remaining members of the people, and the darkness seeps into the earth rapidly and disappears from view. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The people collapse to the ground, exhausted, 2 of their number dead. And you see the distortion effect on the sky kind of break apart. The 5 men, who were armed but aren't anymore, look around in sheer confusion at the scene, and then as one, almost robotically, walk to the SUVs, get in, and drive off into the distance.
Rain. Not that I noticed.
Okay, so what would you like to do?
Sorry, I didn't quite hear that, Keeper.
Okay, what would you like to do?
But I'm gonna just urinate myself in my convulsions.
You're pretty much safe now. So while you should make a check really to stand up, we'll allow that everyone's kind of exhausted for a bit and everyone kind of recovers from whatever situation they're in.
We should
Be
talk
like,
to
oh,
John of the Hill.
What happened to
Yeah,
Delaney? Where did he go?
We have banished the darkness back to his lair. He cannot be destroyed, for the darkness can never be destroyed. But he will trouble us, and he will not trouble us for a long time now. You have done very well.
Thank you.
Thank you.
But I fear that you must leave. I have taken the liberty of sending some of the people to fix your van, and it is now fixed and withdrawn from the snowbank. But you must go. They will find the bodies in the hotel, and they will think that they are you. That is the best outcome that we can hope for.
I completely agree. We should give him the Sky Metal disc.
Yeah. Unless, do you need this?
We will take this and keep it just in case the darkness returns, but I feel that we may have seen the last of it for some time.
Excellent.
Thank you very much, John. You've. I'd like to say it's been a pleasure, but actually, it's been horrific.
I'm covered in blood.
I'm bleeding out of multiple orifices.
You all feel exceedingly knackered. Carl, you feel very unwell. There is, your own blood has jetted out of your face holes. It feels like someone has basically closed their fist around your brain.
And yeah, it wasn't very nice.
However, that being said, John kind of ushers you off towards your van, and you all get back to the van after some walking and pile in. It has indeed been fixed, and they've even been generous enough to top up the petrol tank to full.
Even though we killed one of their guys.
Hmm?
Even though we killed one of their guys with the very van.
Yes.
Such nice dudes.
Yeah.
Allegedly. So does that mean we're off to the job then at the Peak District?
Yeah, you could be if you want to.
I want to go home and have a rest.
I think you probably want to go home and have a rest. I doubt.
I think I want to go home.
Expecting you at this point.
They think we're dead, probably. Haven't heard from us in weeks.
But it's only been a few days.
Feels like longer.
Okay, so who got checks this session?
I did. I think I maybe
Bugger all this session.
I think I got 2.
It's alright, we're going to be rolling some dice in a minute anyway. So you got 2, what did you get?
I got 1 in spot hidden, I think, and 1 in dodge.
Awesome, so let's do spot hidden first. What's your spot hidden score?
It's 29 at the moment, so I've got to roll above that, right?
Above 29. Okay, so you don't increase your spot hidden, unfortunately. What's your dodge?
Dodge is 40.
Okay, so you need to roll above 40. Oh,
That's
so
above
D6
40.
and add it to your dodge.
Excellent, cool. Right, D6. So 2, so I'm on 42.
The answer to life, the universe, and dodging everything.
Yeah, it was Tell Day yesterday.
Okay, so it was Tell Day yesterday, you are correct. Okay, so Carl, what did you get checks in?
Mine was the handgun and also strength.
All right, so handgun, yeah, we'll do that one first. So what your handgun skill is base, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's 20, I believe. So yeah, D6, add on to that. Oh, yeah, your magnificent marksmanship has increased your score by 6. Excellent.
Big improvement.
Okay, so strength
Yeah,
we're going to
that's
do
pretty good.
slightly differently. So you are going to automatically increase your strength, but you're only going to increase it by D3.
I could have proficiency in dragging Nigel away from enemy combatants as well. Oh, 3.
Nigel's obviously a fatty.
So my strength is now 58. I'm nearly half as strong as Bernard.
Okay, so everyone, for defeating the black darkness that was Maximilian Delaney, you all gain D8 sanity points.
Woo!
There's also going to be a absolute minimum on this one. So,
4.
Carl, you get 4 as well. So, Nigel, you get 8. Bernard, you get 4. Carl, you get 4.
Oh, you rolled an 8. Man, we've had some crazy rolls.
Yeah, it has been very mad.
It's like it knew it was the finale and upped all the tension.
Up to all the drama. You will have the opportunity to train before the next adventure, but we will actually sort that out at the beginning of the next session rather than this one. And that is it for now as you drive off home through the snow on the main road.
Nigel drive, I think.
Huh?
I'm going to let Nigel drive.
Yeah, I think that's probably wise after your mind blasting. Carl, you can return your hit points back to their total value. So, how did we feel about that?
Tense.
Yeah, very tense the entire way through. I was scared to make any decisions.
Yeah?
I felt like we were really lucky.
Yeah, I was impressed. The rolls were pretty crazy tonight. There's a little frowny face. You were really lucky. And Nigel, that was inspired pulling out the locket.
Nigel has disappeared.
Nigel's disconnected.
Oh,
What's happened?
Nigel has gone away. Sad times.
I did not think about it.
Yeah, pulling out the locket was really, really good.
I think I'm actually going to give him a bonus for that one.
Good. You can be persuaded.
Okay.
That's talk.
He is typing right now. Oh, his computer just restarted itself. Not a problem. No worries. For your act of inspiration with the locket, I award you a bonus on this next roll, which is, and this is going to apply to all of you as well, +2. You don't get the +2, but you have to make this roll. So what I would like you all to do is make a d5 roll. So please roll a d5 and add the result to your Cthulhu Mythos score.
Do we get some, like, out of character talk and all that, can we get some knowledge on what he was?
That's what this
just
is.
For ourselves.
That's what this is. You are actually getting Cthulhu Mythos score, which is...
No, as in real life.
No, you can't.
Oh.
He was the darkness.
He's gonna reappear.
So, roll... So, Carl rolls 1d5 and gets a 1. So, your Cthulhu Mythos score is now 1. Bernard, yours is 4.
Mm-hmm.
Gone up. I got 2 from the last there. So mine's
I got
3 now.
mine's 6 now.
Rolls and gets a 4. So 4 to Cthulhu Mythos for Nigel. So, yes. Basically, Cthulhu Mythos is kind of a passive score. So if you see anything Mythos related, I will... excuse me, burp. I don't know if you heard that. Might have been cancelled out by my noise canceller. If not,
I heard it and I rate it a 2.
Yeah, it wasn't quite one of yours. So basically, Cthulhu Mythos is a passive score. So Delaney, that's a great picture. Okay, so basically, it's a passive skill. So if you see anything weird, you can check against your Cthulhu Mythos score to see if you actually know what it is. Why have you given him hairy feet? So that's essentially how it works. If you succeed at the check, which is highly unlikely given how low your scores are at the moment, you will know something about it. The problem with Cthulhu Mythos, it is a double-edged sword. So, now that you have some, you need to reduce your maximum sanity by the same amount. Not your current sanity.
Oh yeah, we do. Doesn't it automatically do that? Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's already done it. So yeah, mine's dropped down.
Yep. So the more you know about the mythos, the less sane you become naturally.
The less sane you can be, I guess.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
So, I'm assuming that
Well,
Nigel
we're
is
gonna
not
get
going to
eviscerated.
show up again because his computer's restarting. So we'll call it there. We will arrange to play again next Thursday to give me time to get the first session for the next adventure done.
So not this Thursday coming, the Thursday after.
Yeah, it'll be the Thursday after. So a bit of a
Okay.
gap, but that gives me some time to get some writing done and maybe even make some maps. But congratulations, you beat the scenario. I hope you enjoyed it.
I wanted to
It was really
more,
good.
more unpacking, like how well did we do? Did we make any good decisions? I know you were really impressed with the running away in the mine.
There were 3 decisions that you made that were really, really good, actually. The first one was hiding in the jail cell. The second one was running away in the mine. The third one was Nigel pulling out the locket.
Oh, 2 of those were my decisions, I think. Yeah.
Didn't actually make any good decisions. Torched the hotel.
You wanted to set everything on fire.
Actually, in fairness, while this is kind of pulling back the curtain a little bit, setting fire to the hotel, really good idea, because if they found those bodies in there, and those were the rooms that you guys were booked into, you would have been the prime suspect, and you gave your real names when you checked in. So,
Calm down then.
that's kind of that's the kind of thing that they really can't ignore. However, the fact that the hotel has burned, and I will reveal to you that a few days later you see a news report that says that it actually burned to the foundations, but everyone got out fine. They have basically just decided that, with all the craziness that's gone on, to wash their hands of it, and the hotel staff have just basically pretended you were never there. Possibly at the prompting of John of the Hill. You never know.
Maybe you just told them it would be a good idea and they listened to that.
Or he did, these are not the droids you are looking for type of thing. Nigel's back.
There won't be any statues in our dedication if we ever go back.
Indeed.
It's a
Nigel,
shame.
are you there?
I am, yeah.
Excellent. So what I was just saying is there was a question asked as to whether you could find out anything about what Delaney was and what had gone on, and I went, nope. But there was also a question asked as to what decisions you made that were particularly good, and there were 3 in particular that were very good. So the first one was hiding in the jail cell when the police station was attacked, because it was the one safe place there.
Cool.
The second one was running in the mines and not sticking around to find out what was coming after you. I'm not going to tell you what was coming after you, though. And the third one was pulling out the locket, which was absolutely the best thing that you could have done in that situation.
I am glad
Yes.
that it felt it felt like a gamble. I felt like it was either going to work or I was definitely going to die next turn.
One other thing. The particular kind of werewolf that we were dealing with was not actually vulnerable to silver, but I felt like it was a clever enough idea that it would have sucked if it didn't work. So that's completely pulling back the curtain. So
I was expecting it to not work. I was waiting for that gut punch of nothing happened. It has wet eyes.
No, I thought it was a clever enough idea that I kept it in there. So, yeah, that is it. It is now 11:30, so I'm going to call it there, and we will. It will be next Thursday, so not the Thursday coming, but a week Thursday.
Okay.
Okay, so put it in your Google calendars and stuff. I will speak to you all soon, and well done. And that was lots of fun. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Lots of dice.
Thank
rolls.
you again, Keeper. That was good.
No worries. So, good night. And Ben has drawn all over our picture, which I will now clear off. It's kind of amusing, but that is the end of the stream. So do enjoy his artistic brilliance.
I'm a doodler, so I was actually listening. You should see my lecture books from uni.
Oh, I have one final question, Keeper.
Sure, go for it.
For a fleeting second, the idea of asking Ian to bite me crossed my mind. How would that have gone?
He would have refused.
Ah.
He has spent the last 100 years suffering for being a werewolf, and not enjoying it at all, and is rather glad that he's dead, or would be if that were, a thing that you could feel when you're dead.
Cool.
Not long.
Also worth noting that he has to actually consciously choose to infect someone.
Okay.
So you can't just get bitten and...
No, it's... So, the damage that was done to you, Nigel, I will say now, because I'll probably forget about it completely anyway, is just superficial damage. You are not going to turn into a werewolf.
Dang.
Was
That's a
Justin a werewolf at the time of our interaction with him? Or was it something that happened after, in afterwards?
You will never know. Perhaps he was, perhaps he wasn't. Doesn't really matter, does it?
Curiosity, he just seems so friendly.
I bet he was.
Okay,
He definitely...
So, given it doesn't really matter,
Yeah.
matter, and in case anyone is watching this at some point on YouTube or on my Twitch, in fact, he was bitten the night before, so no.
Oh, okay.
It was like a backup plan.
Mhm.
So Delaney wasn't so
Potentially.
sure of himself after all.
You've turned your mic on Roll20 for no discernible
I was-
reason. Okay, so that's the end. So I will speak to you all soon, and we will reconvene next Thursday for the next adventure. I haven't even decided exactly what we're going to call that yet. So there will be a new channel pop up at some point in the next few days that might give you a clue as to what's going to be coming your way next.
Mini maps.
I may well make maps if they are warranted for the first session. And that's it, so I'm stopping streaming.
Alright.